He was right on the edge, I think, of the flat here on the creek channel.
Ooh, another good shove.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Quick release.
You win a few, you lose a few.
And some are tiger.
We was gonna put him back anyway, but I could have played with him just a little bit. Bam. Right on the edge. Maybe his brother's out there.
Mm-hmm.
There he is.
You kidding?
I'm kidding. There he is.
2 casts in a row?
2 casts.
And that's the way it's supposed to be.
This is Mama here.
Grady White Boats' reputation for designing ruggedly elegant fishing boats is legendary. Our attention to quality, detail, and customer service is unmatched. From our Fisherman 180 and Coastal Explorers series to the unrivaled Canyon 456, you'll find no boat that rides better and offers more fishing amenities. Go ahead, experience fishing at its best. Get the Grady.
Hello, welcome to the Carolina Outdoor Journal. Well, today's program will take us bass fishing. We're talking deep water bass fishing today.
That's right. We're going to spend some time with one of the more popular guides in the Jordan Lake, Sharon Harris Lake area, Phil Cable. We're going to be fishing deep water structure for largemouth bass in the summertime. Hot time of the year, but that's where the fish are. That's where they move offshore and spend most of their summer in this deeper water offshore structure. And Phil's going to give us a lesson in doing that.
What will Phil share with us in gear time today?
Well, just the baits that were used, and they'll talk about the tackle requirements, but mainly the baits that work, lures that work really well for that type of fishing.
And Donna in the kitchen, let me see if I got this right. Lemon baked fish sticks. That just sounds good.
Yeah, well, it does, and I think it's a new way of serving up fish sticks. I think, in growing up, I used to eat fish sticks a lot, and this is a different way, I think.
Well, if you like bass fishing, this show's for you. Join us now for the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Okay. Phil, it's early July. We're up at Jordan Lake, and I know it's going to be hot today, and we've got an early start this morning, but where do these fish move up to this time of year when the water temperatures get warm like this?
I try to catch them out on a lot of these flats. I usually set out in deeper water and throw up into this 8-10 foot of water. As the water gets hotter, I try to target the fish probably a little deeper, 12 to 15 feet. We're going to be throwing crankbaits, probably Carolina rigs, Texas rig worms, just try to find what they want today. It can change daily. It can be a bite.
Yeah, that's why they call it fishing, not catching.
I'll tell you. And hopefully we'll figure them out today where we can catch a fish too.
Yeah, well, we're gonna throw a different bait at them occasionally. We'll find them. Got a fish on, Phil?
Yes, sir. He's pulling pretty good.
Yeah, that old crankbait is a good bait if you can get it near the bottom.
Maybe that's what he's been waiting for. Yeah. Maybe they want that Carolina rig today.
We've been all
there
over.
There he is, right
yeah,
there. Oh, that's a good fish.
Yeah. You want to net him or you want me to lip him?
You might want to net him, keep him sticking that hook in your hanging. Yeah. That's what we were looking for.
That's what we were looking
for.
They were slow to get started this morning. That's a good solid fish too.
I get a 5-pounder.
Yeah. Well, that depends on who's weighing him. Since you caught him, he may go 5. If I'd have caught that fish, he'd have weighed 7 or 8.
7 or 8,
yeah. Got a few sores on him there. Fat, healthy, full of forage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty fish. All right, it's my turn.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good job. I got a crankbait too.
See if we can do that again.
Yeah, if you do that again, I'm gonna find a crankbait.
Earlier we're talking about that road bed that's under the bridge right there. I remember several years ago I came down here and we fished a tournament. There'd been fish all over that road, and we threw a Carolina rig all over it. Never caught a fish on it, and didn't end up doing well at all that day. I came back Monday with one of my customers and friends, And we pulled up on it, and I could see the fish on it again. Threw Carolina rig out there, nothing, couldn't get a bite. And I picked up a crankbait and threw out across that thing, and it was on, and it was every cast. And I thought to myself, how dumb was I? The other day, those fish were here. I just didn't fish them like they wanted to be fished. Yeah, sometimes a problem I think fishermen have, they go out, they've already decided how they're gonna catch the fish that day, and don't let the fish tell them what they really need to know.
Yep.
And,
How many days do you leave home without something tied on your rod?
oh yeah.
That's what I'm gonna catch him on right
Exactly.
there. Yeah. The fish being hard-headed or the fisherman being hard-headed? That's a pretty good fish.
There he is. Yeah, he's a good
he
fish.
is a good fish.
Yeah, he's a nice fish. Showed himself.
Yeah. He's showing off. Little crankbait on that point works pretty good.
I think we're getting ready to see him again. There he is again.
Yeah. Come up.
This guy's got a little acrobatics. He's not like the last guy.
The last one was lazy. You need a little help with him?
Yeah, it don't hurt. You can help an old man here. Watch his fingers.
He's not big as the
Watch out
last
for them
one.
hooks. There you
He's
go.
a pretty solid fish.
Yep,
You had him hooked real good. You did a good job catching him.
I swear.
And I've got him free now. Good solid keeper fish.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, it was my turn, but I'll get the
I
next
know. I really didn't want to do that.
one.
But
I know you didn't.
I felt bad about it.
Well, don't feel too bad.
I tell you what, if I feel another one bumping, I'll just try to take it away from
You
you.
will?
Yeah.
Well, that's mighty good of
I'm
you.
that kind of guy.
Well, I'm not, so you better catch
I know
it.
sometimes
Get all of
sometimes
them
I
you
lose
can.
control.
Yeah, weak. I get weak too. Well, we're in about 20 feet fishing,
Yeah,
12
21 feet. Yes, about 12, 13 feet up
Yeah.
there.
They will gang up on those points sometimes.
Yeah, this one can be especially good because of the creek channel right behind us. I think that's one of the keys of this place. They got a place they can move up and down.
Yeah.
A lot of bait stays around here.
He's
Oh,
he's a better than I thought he was fish. That's the one I missed a while ago.
Yeah, that's the one you played
Yeah.
around with a while ago.
Yeah, well, you give him a chance. Now he's gonna go down there. He coming back up. Come on up. Let's see what you look like.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Got him.
I got him. He got my bait. That was a brand new worm he got.
You don't mind sacrificing a worm for that fish, I do.
If he was a little bigger, maybe not, but he ain't bad.
He ain't
We'll,
bad.
we'll give him one.
Yeah.
We'll give him one. All right, I broke dice. Go
you-
down there and find Mama.
You catch it up now.
Yeah.
Don't take long to catch up when it's only two.
Phil, I know you fish year round, but what months do you like to get offshore and set on these fish?
It starts the 1st of June normally. Sometimes right at the very end of May, but normally you got to get into June. But June, July are probably the two best months. August isn't bad. It's just they're a lot steeper then, and the bite's a little bit slimmer than right now. But all three of the months really, I just like this time of year. One of my favorite time of years to fish.
Is it more time of year or water temperature, or does that delay it some years?
Well, yeah, in June, you kind of want to see the water get to at least about 78. And once it starts pushing that 80 plus mark, then they're really out here then.
Yeah.
You know. Gets that bite going. They move out here and they get on these bait fish. And usually if you can find the bait, you can find the fish. You just fish a lot of these flats where they feed. Uh-oh, have we got a fish?
It was a false alarm, a stump fish.
Okay.
There's some good structure out there on
Yes,
that
sir.
point.
It's a good place for them.
When you've only caught one, you get excited on every stump, every rock. Yeah, that's a good fish. I'm gonna need a net on that fish. Yeah, he was right up under the boat. Yeah.
Come around here, big boy.
Yeah, that's a good fish
Come
there.
around here, big boy.
Boy, that's a nice fish. he didn't let you play with him much, did he?
No, he hit right up under the boat. I was coming right off the side of that drop, and he must have been hanging right there on the edge.
Yeah, well, he had the opportunity to bite earlier. We came in here to get a bait unhung, and while we're in here, catch fish sitting right on top of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty fish.
That's a pretty fish. Yep. Now, why didn't he bite earlier? That's
Yeah,
a solid, healthy fish there.
That's a good one there.
Yep. That's what we come to get.
Slowly but surely.
Yep, that's a good one there. Shame you didn't get to play with him much.
I tell you, the way he first started shaking his head,
Yeah.
and the way it felt, it almost felt like a catfish.
Yeah.
Have you ever caught cats
Yeah.
on a crank?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly almost what he felt like to start with. I said, I was like, please don't be no catfish.
I think I caught a catfish up here the last time I was here when we were striper fishing. Phil, when you're fishing offshore like this, I know people look at you in the middle of the lake and anybody can do this, but there's a lot more to it than it appears, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is getting set up on a place properly, getting your boat positioned, because a lot of times that makes a lot of difference if you're going to catch those fish or not. You know you've got a high spot with a drop or something. You know, get off the side of it, which way I prefer to fish it, and try to throw up shallow and bring it off the side. And also, if it's a small place, make a circle. Work around that spot, because you know the fish might be repositioned. You might fish it on one side, not get a bite, and then turn around and get on the other side, and you can get bit. And then make a difference in night and day, you know, what you do on that spot.
In this big area right here, we're probably fishing a 10-foot circle, maybe a 20-foot circle.
Yeah, maybe a
on the big
20-foot
spot.
circle, yeah, basically, yeah. We're fishing actually the corner of a flat, and it's where it comes out and kind of does a 90-degree turn, and it's almost like a narrow underwater point, really, if you want to look at it that way,
Right.
that it forms.
And you mark it with a marker,
Yep.
and you mark it off the spot so we won't get hung on the marker and move our marker and mess up our fish.
Exactly, yeah, the marker's not on exactly what we're fishing, it's just kind of a reference point to me, but it's where I know that that's out off the end of what we're trying to fish.
Right. So
It just makes it simpler for me. You get out here on this open water, you can be off 30, 40 yards really easy without having something to refer to, especially this far. If you're closer to a bank, you can use a reference point on the bank, but out here, you really need to use markers.
You got to have it. He was right on the edge, I think, of the flat here on the creek channel.
Ooh, another good shove.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Quick release.
You win a few, you lose a few.
And some of them are tiger.
We was gonna put him back anyway, but I could have played with him just a little
Yeah.
bit. Man, right on the edge. Maybe his brother's out there.
Mm-hmm.
There he is.
You kidding?
I'm kidding. There he is.
2 casts in a row?
Two
And
casts.
that's the way it's supposed to
This
be.
is Mama here. This
Oh
is Mama.
yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, this is Mama
This
right
is a
here.
good
Let's get a, where are we in relation to that marker? Yeah, I got us.
You got a bearing?
Yeah, I got a bearing.
You got a bearing. Oh, yeah, oh, look at that toe.
That's a big one.
Woo!
Come on up.
Come on, Mama.
Sweetie, shake them. That's a two-hander there, Phil.
That hurts my arm.
That's a two-hander there.
Wow. That fish 7.5, 8 pounds. That's a big fish.
That's
That is a house.
yeah, that one hooked pretty good, Phil.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, that one wasn't a shook off.
Yes, sir. He's pretty.
Pretty fish.
Yes,
That's a pretty fish. That's what you brought me up here to get right there.
Exactly.
Well, I figured it out. It took a little while, but we got her.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah, look at her.
We ain't caught a bad fish today.
No, we
They're
haven't.
all been big fish.
All been good fish.
What do you think? What's that, the 5th one?
Yeah, I think
Three
that's
of them have
the
been
fifth
over 5 pounds.
Yeah, that's right.
That's good fish.
And just like we talked about earlier with the position, we fished all over that fish already.
Yep.
We just changed the angle
Yep.
and got her excited and she bit.
And I believe you were coming right down side the ledge rather
Yep.
than up on top of it. You
That's
came
right.
right down the edge.
Yep.
Look how far we drifted off the marker. That's
yeah.
why you put a marker out.
Yeah.
You know, you probably turned around here and got ready to fish again. You would think you were right where you caught
Yeah,
that fish.
and-
Well, That's 75 yards up there.
We're
We've already-
well past where I was when we caught the fish.
Well, let's take our bite.
Joe, that particular day, we didn't catch a lot of fish, but we caught a good class of fish.
We really did. It was a tough day on the water, and the guys admitted it. It was pretty warm that day, and just one of those typical summer days. But you know, fish a number of areas. Phil's fished that lake for a long time, and actually he holds the current largemouth record for that lake, 14 pounds 6 ounces, which is a huge bass, which he released after weighing it. But they stuck to it, and as you saw, it's a good class of fish.
Well, let's talk about the gear that we used that particular day. Let's go to gear time.
Well, Phil, it was a tough day. We beat out a nice mess of fish. It was hard work. We had to fish a lot of different spots to do it.
Yeah, we did. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you can find a lot of fish on a spot, and sometimes it's just like it was today, one fish at a time. We just didn't find that mother lode that we looked for all day. But
we caught quality fish.
oh, we caught quality. We had 3 over 5, 1 over 7. So the rest of them were 3-pounders. So
Yeah.
and you lost another one that looked like
I
3.5, 4 pounds.
Yeah.
But it's been a 6-bite day.
Yeah. And I think they were all keepers. We didn't measure fish, but they were not close
Oh,
enough to have to.
You wouldn't have had to measure any of those. They were good fish. You probably had if you were a tournament angler and doing that at the time, you'd probably had 5 that weighed 25. So there's nothing wrong with a catch like that
Not at all.
Yeah.
No, that's very respectful.
Yeah.
Tell me what you do when you're fishing here, what types of baits, and we used a lot of different things today.
I'm pretty basic. I love a crankbait. That's probably my main staple. I like to really throw that, and I throw different ones to get to different depths. Carolina rig, you always got to have that ready. That's just a fish catching tool.
Yeah.
You can use an assortment of plastics on that. We did throw a heavy jig a little bit today. Threw a big worm, I think, actually a little bit. And I think that was the mainstay of what we threw the better part of the day. But you have to change it up. Some days, and even sometimes during the middle of the day, that bite can change.
Crankbait was definitely better today.
Oh, yeah. 4 of the 5 fish were on a crankbait that we caught. And the other fish that got off was on a crankbait. So yeah, today it showed to be the better bite.
When I throw a crankbait, I like out here on open water, I like a long rod because we're making long casts.
Oh, sure.
To get the bait down, I throw a 7-foot rod. I like a flexible tip so I don't pull the bait out of the fish's mouth. Even though I did pull the bait out of the fish's mouth, still get excited.
Oh yeah, but that's going to happen. You can't land them all.
How about your Carolina rig rod?
Carolina rig, I like a long rod. I use a 7.5-foot graphite rod. On Jordan, I use a 20-pound test main line with a 14-pound test leader. Gives a little bit more action. Actually, sometimes it saves you a weight in a barrel swivel because your leader normally will break first, if you hang up there. But it also gives it better action. So.
We basically were throwing just a monofilament. This is a new monofilament that Suffolk's is making. It's got very little stretch, and when you're setting hook on a fish, that's important. And no memory. It's a very castable line, and the newer monofilaments today are a lot better than they used to be. A lot stronger.
Yeah. I'm kind of still old school. I haven't tried any of those. I did try in the early days some of the braids. I didn't really care for any of that, but I still use a basic monofilament line, and I've had pretty good success with.
Right. And I guess we're throwing 3/4 or 1 ounce weights on that Carolina rig.
Sure. Yeah. 3 to 4 foot leaders.
Yeah.
3/4, 1 ounce weights. Yeah.
And the hook varied from a 2/0 to probably a 4/0, depending on what size bait you were throwing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, it was a good day. I had a good time. I enjoyed it.
Too.
I learned some new spots on the lake I'd never seen before.
Yeah. Maybe we can get back here and do it again and learn a few more.
Looking forward to it. I
Okay.
appreciate the invitation.
Yes, sir, buddy. Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir.
Phil and Joy, thanks for sharing that information with us. Now, let's catch up with Donna. She's in the kitchen with a recipe for lemon-baked fish sticks.
Hi, today we're going to make lemon fish sticks. This is a great recipe for you to get your kids in the kitchen with you and cook up something that I think they'll really like. but it's still kind of nutritional as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is we're going to combine 2 different breaders today. We're going to use a lemon pepper breader, and we're also going to use the in your oven breader. So we're going to add those in here. We're going to add the lemon pepper for some flavor and some crunch, as well as with the in your oven. This is a great way to combine different flavors together, but you don't have to really think about what kind of spices I'm going to put together. It's already done for you. Then we're just going to shake that together to mix it all up. And then we're going to fold it down because it helps keep our hands cleaner and just a little bit neater. We're going to take our white fish, and what I've done is I've just cut it into strips. If you want to, you can cut it into chunks. However, it's easiest. If you have smaller children, chunks might be a little bit better, but the strips work out nicely. Then we're going to coat it with some lemon. And a great way to use this lemon, instead of like slicing it and trying to squeeze it all out, or using, because I like fresh lemon juice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lemon, I'm just going to rub it onto my cutting board. And that way, it'll kind of squeeze it together, squeeze it in there for you. You're making your own juice. And this is a great thing if you have kids, because you know how they like to squeeze and roll things. Then I'm just going to cut off the end, and it's already squeezed for me. Then I'm just going to squeeze it on to my fish, because the breader will adhere to it a little bit better if it's wet. And this will also give it some great flavor as well. So we're going to take our fish and place it into our bag. And this is a great quick dinner too. It's a great quick idea. And if you have your kids, you guys go out fishing and then they want to have, taste what they caught, this is a great idea because it's something that's kid friendly. Maybe not everybody's children are picky like mine, but so we're going to shake this to coat it. This is another great thing that your kids can do, because they like to, my kids love to help me cook in the kitchen. So then we're just going to place this out onto our foil-lined baking sheet and bake this for about 10 minutes at 450 degrees. It cooks really fast, and it'll cook up great. You'll love it. And then once you have it baked up, it's going to look like this. Let's walk over and look at this. You can put it on a fun plate. I found these plates the other day, and I just think they're so fun, and kids will love it. And you can pile up your fish sticks, add some broccoli for some good nutrition, and then maybe a cheese stick, which would be great, and some strawberries. And always a good dip sauce is either Thousand Island, ranch, or at my house, ketchup. So I hope you enjoy the lemon fish sticks, and I'll see you next time here on Simple Cooking.
Thanks a lot, Donna. That's a recipe that I want to try a little later on. Joe, let's go back up to Jordan Lake. Phil knows that lake like the back of his hand.
Well, he does. He's been up there for years. He's a professional guide, so you can call him and go out on the lake and catch bass. I mean, he knows it front and center. He also fishes Sharon Harris Lake, which is close by. But again, that was a tough day. But that showed, his expertise. And of course, Joey Dorman, he's been with us for years catching bass. He knows how to catch them, and he has a horseshoe, because he has caught big bass just about every show we've done. And this, the biggest one for this trip was almost 7, but actually between 7 and 8 pounds is what Phil was guessing, and quality fish. But Joey knows how to catch them too. So a tough day made easier when you have guys that know how to catch fish.
Well, you call it luck. I call it skill meeting opportunity for our buddy Joey.
That's it.
For Joe Albee, I'm John Moore. Thanks for joining us today on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Make sure to visit our website for more information.
Grady White boats are known for uncompromising quality through exceptional attention to detail. On every model, from 18 to 45 feet, we incorporate exclusive features and quality components that you won't find on any other boat brands. Our exclusive CV2 hull design is ranked highest in every third-party survey done in the marine industry. So every day on the water will be a great day, no matter the conditions. Ask any Grady White owner and they'll tell you, get the Grady.